So this week I'm going to be making a water system for our bus. This is what we've got so far. It's incredibly basic, real rudimentary stuff. So it was here when we bought the land. It's just a small roof and it runs to a 5,000 litre tank. There's no pump, nothing like that. So the only way you get water out of it is through gravity. So as you can imagine, it's just a sort of a trickle really. The first thing I did when I got to the land was I put on a small attachment on the bottom of that tank, attached it to a hose pipe, and then that gave us a little bit of pressure. I also ran a second hose pipe down into the woods and I put a shower down there. There's a 5 metre drop into the woods. There was just about enough pressure to get a shower going, just running off a tank of gas or propane, but it's not ideal. So this is where I want to put the pump. The pump needs to be near the tank, and then I'll put a kind of a holding tank on top of the pump, and that will keep the system pressurized all the time, so the pump doesn't have to keep switching on and off. So that will keep it to mains pressure. I'll run 2 lines out, one down to here, and that will go to a garden tap so I can water the garden, and then another line that will go into the bus. Once I've got it in the bus, I can then put it through to the kitchen and to a shower, and then I'll run another line out and I'll put an outdoor shower over there somewhere. And I am really falling at the first hurdle here. I bought a load of like random fittings when I was in town, trying to plan it out in my head, hoping that I had all the right fittings for all the right curves and joins that I wanted to make. And on the second fitting that I'm at, I can't put them together because I don't have the right thing. And I went to the local shop, they don't have it, which means 45-minute drive into town, 45-minute back. I mean, by the time I've gone into the town and back, it's basically half a day, you know, with parking and messing around. So I've not gone very far with that. It's a bit frustrating, but that's the deal when you live somewhere like this. So instead, I think I'm going to deal with this gutter. So I'm going to take this off, give it a bit of a clean, and then get something to filter out the junk, because there's all sorts of stuff falling down from the trees onto that roof that's then going into the tank, and I need to solve that problem. Well, that's broken. So my entire achievements for the day are I broke a gutter. My plan was to take this down in one piece without completely destroying it. Anyway, at this point I swore a bit, gave up, and then went for a surf. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Okay. Cool. That's more like. What a morning, hey? Beautiful. Yesterday wasn't much fun. The rain kept kind of coming and going and gave up in the end. It's not much fun. I don't like digging, and I particularly don't like digging in the rain, so that's that. Anyway, this morning we've got a really nice day, so I'm going to crack on with this. You can see where I've got to. I'm not going to put a panel on that back there. I think I want that so I can access the pump and the filters and all the rest of it, and I don't think it will get wet with as it is. There's a hole there on the side which I drilled in, so I can get some pipe going into that, and then I'll come down to a T-section, and that will allow me to get one line for the tap here and one line for the bus there. But first things, I think this trench here needs to be a little bit deeper. I really don't want to dig it anymore, but yeah, I think I should go down a bit further. So I'm going to get on with that for a bit. You know, I've been thinking whilst doing this, that like living like this, you dig a lot of holes, you know, plant a tree, dig a hole, put a fence in, dig a hole. You want a trench? Dig another hole. You're always digging holes. And then I thought about the number of digging implements that I've got. I've got this, a mattock or a pick, and then I've got like a normal garden digging spade, and then I've got a half round, and then I've got a shovel and 2 trowels and 2 forks. I've got a spade just for digging posts. It's a lot of digging. And the funny thing is, I don't like digging. I try and avoid it as much as I can because it's really tiring. You kind of, every time I do it as well, I forget how tiring it is. You think, oh, that'll just take a few minutes. It won't take a few minutes. It'll take ages because it's hard work. This is looking pretty good. We've got the tank here, tank flows into the pump to the pump controller, and then into this tank. This tank is just to keep the pressure up. You don't have to have it, but if you didn't have it, every time you turn the tap on, even for a second, the pump has to start to generate that pressure. This just gives the pump an easier life, so I think it's worthwhile. From there, it then flows out into these 2 tanks. You can only see one of them, but each one of these has filters in them, and so they just filter that bits particles out of the water. You can also change the types of filters. You can put a carbon filter on or whatever. So that's this part, and then it flows out into here, into the ground, and then along to the bus and along to the garden tap. So that's about it. Yeah, that's gone okay. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.